Hey everybody, it's Jesse. My stream's a little bit. There's something up with my stream. YouTube's telling me that it's bad, so let me know if the stream's not working. I could try to restart it. Uh, I think what happened is I just had way too many browser tabs open, and my computer started to lag a little bit and slow down. At that point, it started telling me the stream was bad, so I was frantically trying to close tabs before 2 o'clock hit. So hopefully it'll start working again. Cool. Hey everybody. Everybody's saying hi in the live chat. So if you've been watching the last couple of days, it seems like every day I get a question from somebody in the live chat about React. When are we going to do React? And I've been saying we're going to do React, and we're finally doing it. So as you can see, if you saw yesterday, my Trello board here where I'm keeping track of everything, the done column has a lot more things in it. Yesterday I put in an epic day of work, 13 and a half hours of work. Most of that time was actually spent on this site. I did have some meetings and things like that, so I didn't code the entire time. But I got the site to a point where everything's pretty much in place. Aside from some minor details, there's still some demo content that I just don't have yet. There's some images that need to be resized, but for the most part, everything is pretty much how it's going to be when we go live. I'm sure there'll be some last minute changes. There always are. Internet is very poor today. So far, so good. Okay. Um, Sorry, I had some people saying they couldn't hear anything. Some people saying the internet's very poor. Other people were saying it's okay. So, all right, just let me know if if it's really messed up. Put it in the live chat. The control room on YouTube is still telling me that my stream status is bad, but my computer seems to be running okay again. This happened one time before when I refreshed the page. I stopped the stream and started it. It said it was good again. I don't want to try to do that right in the middle of a stream though. Normally I would figure this out before I started the stream, but this actually happened 1 minute before the stream was supposed to start. So as long as it seems like most of you are having an okay time with this stream, it's working. So I'm just going to leave it alone for now. But anyway, yeah. So the site's pretty much where it needs to be. I'll give you just real quick. I'll just go over some of the stuff that I did. You can check it out. All the links are in the description. I added a couple links for React and for Next.js. That's what we're going to go over today. So the homepage pretty much the same as it was. I added this here at the bottom. These are little tabs. These tabs, this kind of style of tab, that comes built in with Materialize. It's the framework we're using. These cards are going to be clickable links, and it'll switch back and forth between these two categories. We have the footer is now populated with the things it needs to be populated with. I added this in the top. This was mandatory for me to add in. We tried to add this into a lot of our websites to have at least something uniform branding wise on all the sites. Let me see. The other page, I'm not going to go into all the pages. I'm afraid that if I start going into it, I'll spend half the time just going over the site when you guys can check this out on GitHub right now. So let's jump into React. So today I'm going to be working on the command line a lot, which I haven't done previously. So this is iTerm2 is what I use for the command line. I'm on a Mac. So all I did there was just open up a new tab, so we'll start fresh. On this side of the screen, let me know if any of this is too small. I can make it bigger. I'm just going to increase the font size a bit on everything. Okay, so You're starting out blank slate command line. I've had a lot of people request to start out from just totally from scratch. So some of the things that I already did do, so it's not completely from scratch. So let's say you just got your Mac, or I mean these same steps would probably work on Linux as well. It's slightly different for a PC, but not too different. So you should be able to follow along for the most part. Let's say you got it fresh. What you would need to do is install, obviously I installed iTerm too, but you could just use the regular terminal that comes with Mac. And you'll want to install Node.js. So you just go to the Node.js website. There's instructions for downloading that. So you have Node, and then you'll need npm. I think npm comes prepackaged with Node, but it's been so long since I installed it. I don't know, maybe it's a separate install. But if you have those two things, that's pretty much all you need to get to the point where I'm at today. So not exactly from scratch, but pretty close. So right now I'm at the command line. I'm going to go in, I keep everything in projects. So I'm going to go to my projects folder, and I'm going to make a new directory, and let's call this CI for Catechetical Institute. That's the name of the site, and we'll call this React. Okay, so let's cd into that directory. Okay, so now we're in the directory we need. At this point, we're pretty much ready to go into the directions for Next.js. Okay, so if you're not familiar with Next, basically it does a lot of things, but the reason I'm using it is two main reasons. One, it handles your server-side rendering. That's important for search engines to be able to see your content. The second reason is it just lets you jumpstart React development. It loads a lot of things for you so that you don't have to do it one by one. There are a lot of other things that do something similar. React actually has, I think it's Create React app that does the same thing. And you can see more about React here. It's facebook.github.io/React. And the link's in the description. So you can learn more about React from the website. And I'll probably do some videos, some pre-recorded videos on it when I get a chance. But we're starting with Next. This is just its GitHub page. So let's set this up. I'm going to use, instead of npm, I'm actually going to use yarn. It basically does the same thing as npm. It's just a little bit faster, and it has this lock file that it has some other benefits. I personally have never had any issues with different repos in npm, like the conflicts between package versions, but yarn takes care of all of that for you. So you will have to install yarn. I'll add a link to that in the description as well. Alright, so I'm just going to go yarn. Actually, I wonder, for npm it would be npm, what is it, init? Let's see if I just go yarn if it'll do it. Nothing to install. Sorry, I can't remember what the, okay, so we're doing a yarn init. Basically, this will create the package JSON file that we see here. So we need to add this script to package JSON. I guess I could have, maybe I could have just installed this. But let's see, CI React, that's a good name. When you do this, it'll just ask you a couple questions. You can actually just skip most of this, and I will for this video. I'm just going to skip most of this. But you can fill it out if you want. You can always fill it out later too. Okay, everybody follow me? Oh, somebody mentioned Vue.js. I haven't used Vue.js yet. I keep seeing it a lot come up in articles and things. I'd like to learn more about it at some point. Okay, so we have, let's see. Okay, so now we have this package JSON file. I'm just going to let's go yarn add. So with npm you go npm install. With yarn it's different. You say yarn add, and I'm going to add next react and react DOM. So now yarn is doing its thing. I have no idea how long this will take. It's been a couple months since I've gone through this process. Also, it's been a few months since I installed Next, and it's changed. It's a couple versions ahead. So this is unscripted and live. So if we run into any issues, sorry. But that's kind of the point of the video, is just to show you what I do, even if I mess up. Alright, so you see how fast that was. That was actually faster than I thought it would be. And all this stuff got installed, which is pretty awesome, because I don't know how long that would take me to install this one by one. So everything's installed. We can see we have a few more things here. We have our node modules, our package JSON, and we have our lock file. We'll never directly edit the lock file. We'll probably never even look at it. Occasionally we'll need to edit our package JSON, and we'll never directly interact with node modules. But for now, let's open our package JSON file. So I'm actually gonna go atom dot, and that's my code editor. And if I do that, it will open up my code editor. In this case, it's opening on another screen. I'm gonna have to pull it over in a second. Alright, so let's pull this over, and we'll just make that full screen for now. So here's our package JSON file. You can see it tells us we have, this is some of the stuff that we skipped over and didn't fill in. It just gave us default things. But then here's our dependencies. This section will tell us everything that we've installed, all our packages. So we have Next, we have React, we have React DOM here, and this tells us our versions. Okay, so we're good. The next step, we'll go, sorry, let me organize this a little better for us. Oh, okay. Never mind. I see where it went. It went behind. So I'm going to minimize that. There we go. Okay, so we need to add this section in. These are going to give us some commands we can use straight from the terminal to start our React app, to build it, to get it ready for production, and then to start it as a production app. So let's put that in. So put it down below here. And wait, is that how I want to do? No, actually, I don't think I need these tags. Do I? There we go. That's why I was discolored. Yeah. So I copied in some stuff I didn't need. Okay, but these scripts, basically what I'm going to be able to do is just type in yarn dev, and it'll automatically run whatever I have on this side of the colon. Same way with yarn build, yarn start. You can chain together things. Maybe later on we'll get into some more complicated things with this. So let's save that. And let's see. That's it. I mean, that's all you need to get it running. Okay, basically. Well, we need an index page, so we'll just use their default index page for now, just to show that it works, to make sure that it works. But we need to make a pages folder. So right now we have nothing. Let's make a directory pages, and let's okay, so I've just made that file. Let's go back over to our editor and see we now have pages. Let me increase the size here. Okay. We have pages. My size the size of the code is increasing, but I'm not getting this to increase. I'm not sure why. I'll have to try to figure that out after the video. I wonder if, yeah, I'm not getting an increase. So if you can't see this, basically I have a folder called pages, and now I have an index file, index.js. Let's make sure this is all we needed. Okay, that should be all we need for now. We're going to save that. I'll explain a little bit more what's going on in a second. Let's just get it started. Okay, so now we're going to do yarn. Where's my command line? Yarn run dev. So I just type yarn run dev, and that runs. That'll run this command here next. Okay. So basically what happens here is it's just started a server. Okay, it's using Webpack, and it's just started the server, and it says it's ready on localhost 3000. So we should be able to see something here. I'll bring this up. Hopefully I don't have anything else running on that port right now, or it'll mess it up. I've had that happen before. Alright, this worked. Let me bring this over. It's really small. I'll make it bigger. Okay, welcome to Next.js. Okay, so it doesn't seem that impressive. We just have one line of text on a page, but this is, I guess, technically a React app, the minimum React app. And you can see I have a browser extension to show what we're running. I guess the UI is not working. Here we go. So it shows we're running React and Webpack. So this is React. Hey guys, sorry I'm ignoring the live chat a little bit. I just wanted to get through that without messing up the install. So I'm gonna scroll through real quick to see if I missed anything important in the live chat. It's like hello from Poland, Montreal, Brazil, Peru, Sao Paulo, Guatemala, LA, Italy. Wow, awesome. Poland, Ghana, Tibet. Somebody's from Narnia. That's great. I love that. Ukraine, Russia, Kansas, Pakistan, Netherlands. Wow. We got people from all over the place. Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to explain a little bit about how React, specifically Next.js with React, works. And if I'm losing anybody, if you need me to go over something more, let me know in the live chat. There's a bit of a delay, so I may not see it right away, but I'll try to get to it. And if I miss something that you ask in the live chat, put it in the comments. I always go back and read those comments, and I'll respond as soon as I can. Okay, so basically, when you're using Next, let me move this out here, and let's check out the structure. So when you're using Next, anything you put in this pages folder will be a route. That'll actually be a page in your app or in your website. And Next takes care of all the routing for that. So it's definitely, can only appreciate if you've done without Next to create React app. Really time consuming. Okay, sorry, I got distracted by the live chat again. Someone had a good comment in here. It said you can only appreciate it if you've done it without Next or create React app. It can be really time consuming. So yes, that is definitely true. When I first was trying to learn React, and I'll say right up front, I am nowhere near an expert at React. I'm still in the learning process. But when I was really, really a noob at React, I attempted it several times to do it from scratch with no help, and pretty much failed. I don't even remember what the result was, so it wasn't even memorable at all. But I tried Create React App, and that was awesome. And then I found Next, and basically I went with Next because of the server-side rendering that came, out of the box, because I needed that for a project I was doing a few months ago. So, most awaited video. I know everybody wanted the React stuff. So anyway, yeah, I mean, at some point, if you have the time, go ahead and try to do React just straight from scratch. There's value in knowing how to do that and how to set things up exactly like you need to. But the reality is, you just don't always have time. I don't know about you, but a lot of the projects that I work on, there's just really tight deadlines, and I don't have time to do it exactly the way I would want to if I had all the time in the world. So this is a great time saver. Let's go in and let's make some other pages, and I'm gonna duplicate this tab. So this is kind of cool about iTerm too. I'm sure other terminal applications do this, but since I'm running this server, now I can't type any commands without stopping this. So I just open up a new tab, and then I can still check on how the server's doing, and I have this new tab here. So I'm gonna cd into this pages directory since we're gonna do some stuff in here, and let's just make some of the pages that I know we're gonna need. And you notice these aren't .html, all these are .js. So you're not gonna have any .html pages in your React app. About what did we need? Team, and I'm gonna bring up on my other screen all the menu links that we'll need. I don't need to add them all right now, but it'll be good to get some examples. Okay, so we have team. We need courses. Events, resources. Okay, that's good for now. Okay, so now if you can see, all these have been created, and I'm going to go in and let's see, I should be able to, let's just pop this same code in there, and we'll just change one word to let us know that it's actually working before we get into bringing over content. The next couple of videos are going to actually be converting that static site that we built the last week, converting that into React components. I don't think we're going to have time to get into that now. We only have about 7 minutes left. Okay, so sorry, it's just rearranging some stuff on my other screens here. Let's switch back here, and we'll just fill this in. I guess we could do this one first just to make sure it works. And we'll just write about. And okay, so I'll bring this over. So check that out. I've typed in, it might be hard to see here at the top, but it's just localhost 3000/about. And that's our page. That's what we built. So all that routing is totally taken care of. So I don't know if you've ever tried to build routing from scratch, either server-side or client-side. It's time-consuming, and it can be buggy if you're doing it. So I definitely recommend going with this. I once did a project where I made a custom router completely myself, and then I totally redid it and went with something pre-made even after I built everything, because I realized that this is going to be so hard to maintain. I should go with some pre-made thing that more people are going to know how to use except for just me. Hey guys, got a couple people saying hi. All right, so what we're going to do is let's try to bring in some, if we have time, let's try to bring in some code. All right, I've showed you the pages. Let me show you where the components can live. Now with Next, the only folder that you absolutely need to have named something specific is the pages folder. So you have to have pages, and that's where the default routing is going to take place in. You can name your other folders whatever you want. I'm just going to name a folder just kind of the default components folder. So I'm going to make that folder now. this will be where I keep most of my components. If you had a really complex site or app, you probably would want to break it down into different folders. For right now, I think this should work. We're not going to need a ton of different components. So in the components folder, let's just make some of the components we know we're going to need. So we're going to need a header. Let's call it home header, and let's follow the convention home header. So I guess it's been about a month or two since I've actually worked with React, probably like a month and a half at least at this point. The convention, I believe, if I remember correctly, is that your components are all, they're capitalized. So that's why I'm capitalizing this. So we have the home header. Remember, we had two different versions of the header, and then let's have, I'm just going to say header for the next one. Actually, let's call it nav. I've been calling it nav throughout this whole video series, so let's not change it up now. And now let's just call this regular nav, nav.js. We have that sticky nav. Let's call it a sticky nav. We have that sticky nav. We're definitely going to need a footer. Okay, so we have all these components. Let me think. We have cards for the team members. And that'll be good for now. We're going to have more components than that. But now we can see we have our components. I had to learn what makes it. Okay, we had another good comment. Someone said they had to learn Webpack to set up a React app. They did learn Webpack in the process, though, which was good, but they said it was painful. I'm definitely with you there. For me, coming from first using Grunt and then moving to Gulp, and then trying to transition to Webpack, it was a tough transition for me. That's why this, Next.js or something like it, like Create React App, it takes that off of you. So you don't have to learn Webpack just to use React. If you want to just build something cool in React just to learn it or to start out with, then you can just skip that. I recommend learning it at some point, though, but it doesn't hold you back from being able to do something with React. Okay, so let's bring this up. So we have our components now, and we'll bring up the footer, and I'm gonna try to grab some boilerplate here for a component. Hopefully they have one. I'm probably skipping over something. This will probably work. This is a little bit more than we need, but I think this should give us what we want. Okay, so with a few minutes, we only have 1 minute left. I'll just pop this over. Let's extend. Actually, that's not exactly what we want. Guess that happens. But like I said, this is unscripted. It's not rehearsed beforehand. So I may not be able to get a component built today. Although I did get a little farther than I thought. I was pretty sure that I would mess something up when I was installing everything since it's been so long. But I'm not seeing it. I'm just going to have to go back to one of my previous React projects and copy something from there. It's a good Webpack. Okay, someone says there's a good Webpack tutorial that helped them out a lot. If you could, go ahead and link to that. That might be helpful for everybody if they're not familiar with Webpack yet, need some extra help. Let me go. The last thing I'll do in this video, I'm going to go real quick to one of my other repos. And I'm going to just grab some code from a footer component that I did for that repo, for that project, and I'll pull it in. and I use Next for that as well. Let's find this footer. Okay. Alright, so let me copy this in. It's going to be a lot at first, but let me show you the basics. So I'm importing React component from React. In this case, I'm importing this. Let me take this out because I don't have this component now. I had it in my other project. I'm calling this footer. Okay, so, and then at the bottom here, I'm exporting footer. That's the basics that you really need. And let me take this out. Otherwise, I'll probably get an error because I don't have that component. Let me just real quick double check to make sure that, okay, I don't think I'm using any other components. This, I do want to keep this in. Basically, all I'm doing here is just making sure that that copyright date at the bottom is always current. And I guess I don't need this right now. This is my Google analytics tag. So obviously I'm going to use a different one and I don't need that right now. So let's save that. And let me try to bring in into one of our pages. So let's try let me import, see if this will work. Import footer. Let me see how I do this. I know I'm going a couple minutes over. I apologize for that. But since we kind of started this, I'd like to just finish out and get one component linked up here. Alright, so yeah, I'm just trying to copy and paste some stuff so I don't mess it up and so it can go a little bit faster. Okay, so I'm going to import footer from footer, and let's actually bring this. Let's see if this will work. I'm not sure that this will work, but let's try it out. Let's see. All right, it worked. Great. Let me bring this in. Everything worked out for me today. I didn't mess anything up. So it's a good day. Yesterday I was a little off. I messed some stuff up. I didn't do my usual stream routine yesterday, so I don't know if you tuned in yesterday. I don't know if you caught it, but I just felt kind of really off. But anyway, that footer component that we made, this is for another one of my sites that I did, so it's not the same info, but you can see it brought in everything. Now what it didn't bring in were any of the styles because we didn't bring that in, so try to adjust quality video, screen so blurry. Okay, someone's saying the screen is blurry. Try to adjust quality. Yeah, on my end, it does look like the stream is good. At least YouTube's telling me the stream is good. It should be at 1080p. If it's blurry for you, it's possible that it's your connection. I'm pretty new to live streaming, so I might be mistaken. But all right, so that's pretty cool. So within basically a half an hour, we went from pretty much nothing to installing everything we needed for a server-side rendered React app. We created about, like 5 pages in that app and one component. We linked that component up to one of the pages. So we did all that. Now granted, I copy and pasted a lot of stuff, but you can see how easily it is to get started with React. It looks good. Okay. Sorry, distracted by the live chat again. Okay, it looks like the video is looking good to some people. Okay, 720, no problem. Yeah, as long as you can get 720, it should be readable. Anything below that, I would think it would be too fuzzy to read the code. And I'm sorry for that. If you're not able to read it right now, it'll be available in about 5 minutes to watch the replay. Maybe you can get it to come through better for you on the recorded version. And so thanks for tuning in, everybody. I will be back tomorrow at the same time. Next week, I'm gonna have some different times. I know I have a meeting on Monday at 2, so I'll have to reschedule that. And then I'm gonna go to a conference at the end of the week, so we'll see. Maybe I'll do some video from the conference. I'll be at SyntaxCon in Charleston, South Carolina. So we'll see. I guess let me know if anybody's interested in seeing video from that conference. Maybe I can try to stream something, from my phone, or we'll see how good the Wi-Fi is. But I will be back tomorrow. Let me know if you have any suggestions for me, or if you need me to go over something in more depth. And tomorrow we're going to really get into making a lot of components and making some pages. So it should be fun. All right. You're welcome. See you guys.